fashion, music, and Latinx identity, specifically Afro-Latinx, and how everything intersects, like the intersectionality of everything. And my custom clothing brand, Hu-Huako, is it's pretty much like swimwear, spring and summer based. It's very lively, and it has a lot of like urban and past decade feels, kind of like the 80s, and it's very motivated by like influences of the Caribbean as well. So it really just started just playing around with things. I would make things for my friends, and it was nothing ever serious. Like I would just patch things on denim jackets, or like I'll fix things for people, and then I started just playing around with like pieces of clothing and ripping them apart and just teaching myself how to make it, and then it started just expanding when I started making swimwear for myself, because I felt like I could never find something that really fit me well, especially because there weren't certain stores that catered to like thick girls. Like it was always like that European type of figure, and sometimes I would have to like mix and match sizes. Like I would have to get like a large bottom and then like a small medium top, depending on like which store I was going to. And I felt like because I knew my body, I knew what looked well on me, creating my own pieces was gonna work well. And then one day, I was part of a dance group, and we decided to have like a fashion show, and that was pretty much how I like started. I had friends that really motivated me into like really creating the clothing line, but it was never something that like, you know, I never saw myself when I was younger saying like, oh yeah, I just want to be a designer. It was something that kind of happened by accident, and it was more like because of the functionality of it. And just like starting it, I just started thinking and like asking myself, what do I want out of this? How I'm gonna market this? And I started marketing in a way that I didn't see marketing at that time. I didn't see thick girls mixed with different type of girls in pictures. I never saw Afro-Latinas. I never saw dark-skinned women with different colors. So I started playing around with things that people didn't normally see. And I guess that's what really attracted like the creative community in Philly, because it was also a time when people were like learning to create their things, but as well like really embracing natural hair and just like ancestry and like local music in general. So I feel like everything was happening at the same time, and all these things were just motivating each other.
For me, I felt like the essence of your brand was more like you kind of want to get rid of the social stigma that's like within showcasing women of, you know, different colors and different shapes, and you basically work towards inclusivity. Like, would you say that that's your goal for your brand?
It is. It's always been my goal. Like a specific goal of mine was that I wanted any young girl to head to my Instagram and feel somehow, some way she was represented. If it wasn't her color, it was maybe her body size. And I've always dreamt of working with like, you know, plus size women. It became a little bit harder because although I made clothing for them, they still had like certain insecurities. And a lot of the women that are in my Instagram, they're my friends. They're people that I know, everyday people. It's not like I cast these women. These are women with normal body types.
Yeah, that's so important. So what would you say to people who, because I know that there's kind of like a debate right now in the like entrepreneur world, because especially with young people, because a lot of the times like young entrepreneurs aren't seen as actual, you know, people who are part of the workforce. They're not seen as like, you know, people who want to make a name for themselves. They're kind of like, you know, discredited as like, oh, it's this young person who just doesn't really know what they're doing.
I was considered a hipster for like 10 years.
See, but like, I'm just wondering, because a lot of people think it's stupid to invest in yourself and to, you know, spend money that ultimately they feel like you don't have that money to spend on like, you know, creating a website or like going out and like buying fabric, you know, or like making your own thing. So would you say that for you think it's essential, or that people could start, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you think it's important to invest in yourself in order for your business to grow? Or do you think like you could start from scratch, literally nothing, and just go from there?
So if I can go back, I would at least take like a business course or something before starting my brand, but I don't take back anything I ever went through. Like, at least I started from scratch. The only business knowledge that I had was working at a bodega with my dad, and I thought that was gonna help me, you know, understanding like the finances for that. And at the end of the day, it's different because, you know, fashion and design is not Hershey chips and like, you know, Twisty treats and stuff. So it's completely different. I think it's important to invest in yourself regardless. A lot of people didn't understand, like, oh, you're 25, you're 24, why don't you have a car yet? And it's just like, I'm spending that money on fabric, I'm spending that money on buying new machines, on buying new equipment, and people won't understand that because they're just looking at like the vision, like until they don't see everything and, you know, for face value, they're not gonna understand that. But I definitely went through that, you know, those certain comments and those certain situations, and it's just like, at the end of the day, I think that we sometimes try so hard to like check off like the societal checklist, where it's just like, you know, graduate high school, then graduate college, graduate this, and then have a family, get married, find a job, and it's just like, then buy a house. It's just like, and these are all like extreme stress factors. And I told myself a long time ago, I'm not gonna kill myself for nobody. Like, I told my parents, you're not gonna get a lawyer out of me, you're not gonna get a doctor out of me, you know. And it's something that can be kind of like hurtful for immigrants to hear, especially like people that want their kids to be educated. But I had to let them know a long time ago, like, you can't expect these certain things from me, because at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna live for myself, not for my parents, because at one point my parents are gonna die and I'm gonna still be alive living what they wanted to live. You get what I'm saying? And then it's just like, for you to live a life of just full of regrets, then just go and do it. Just go and do it. And it's just like, I kind of took like a leap of faith with the whole clothing thing, and like this passion just grew out of the nowhere, because again, it was something that happened accidentally, and then just a lot of my passions with music and fashion just all collided at once. It was insane. Those years were really insane. And I feel like if I had somebody that kept telling me, you know, oh, do this first or do this first, I feel like I would just stray away from it. People kept telling me, you know, that's always gonna be there, just focus in school. But for some reason, I just wouldn't listen. Like, I would just really focus on creating stuff, because I knew that I just wasn't there yet. Like, it wasn't my time for me to graduate, and I wasn't going to rush a career that I didn't feel like I was going to be fully committed to, especially if I didn't know what you can't, not every 18-year-old is going to know, like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, you know? And at that, like, you know, so I've seen so many people progress and do so well without college as well, where it's just like, you know, graduate high school and at least, you know, really invest in yourself, really build a business from head to toe, because it's a different experience for everyone. And as long as you have that ambition and you put in work, I'm pretty sure you can get anywhere you want to be. Like, it's not just go to college and that's it, because I know a lot of college kids that are nowhere right now because they don't have that ambition. Like, they don't have that ambition, they don't have that energy, they don't put in the work. So it really is different for everyone, but I definitely think you should invest in yourself. And investing in yourself is not just like, you know, going to school, but it could be just investing time into equipment, buying a camera, investing your time into things that, you know, will work out for you in the future. And that means no more social activities, but sometimes you also have to think like, you can't go to school, invest time in this, and then invest time in creative stuff, and then also have a social life. Like, it's a lot to juggle. So one of the things you have to sacrifice, if you have to stay in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those are your free days, in order to get things done, then that's what you're gonna have to do, and that's your investment. That's you investing time in yourself.
I think like people, especially young people, also have to understand like there's no one path for success, and success is different for everybody. So you can't like follow somebody else's like you know, story, or like the way that they did certain things, because it might not even align with what you want in life, you know. All right, so I think we're done. And then so